Hey, this is a perfect stream with no issues. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. If you guys have been hanging out during the break, I very much appreciate you. Welcome back. Hello. I'm Jen. This is Sarah. Well, Sarah's not here. Oh, there you are. I'm Jen. This is Sarah. We've been hosting a really fun event for the members and the friends of my stream team, the Firekeepers, which is a Souls stream team that is for anybody and everybody who just wants positivity in the Souls community and playing games without having to be good and feeling okay about doing that. We have so many people who have so many different talents, like people who do speed running, people who play with one finger, DJ hero cassettes, like all sorts of stuff. And then we have people who are doing their very first playthroughs. And we have artists and cosplayers and people who do tabletop RPGs and all sorts of things. And art is so rampant amongst so many people on the team, and I am so excited that you guys are here. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for having us. Yes, yes.
Thank me again. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us, Jen and Sarah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the stream. We just keep saying thank you back and forth.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
Exactly.
I would love for you guys to go through, introduce yourselves as creators, and then we'll jump into talking about art and cosplay. And I'll shout you guys out in the chat as well. I'm gonna go left to right. Cherry, please go first.
Hi, everybody. My name's Cherry. I'm a variety streamer / screamer. I like to vibe and thrive and have a good time. And I am a cosplayer. I've been cosplaying since 2013. And yeah, it's fun.
You are so good at it too, and I'm so glad to have you here. And who are you dressed as today, for those who don't know?
I think oh my gosh, I'm gonna botch the name so bad. Melina? Is it Melina or Melina?
I say Melina.
I think it's Melina.
Melina? Okay, it's Melina. One of them. But yeah, I don't have my horse with me. Don't have Torrent, but he's here in spirit. But so.
Hey, that was a good pun.
Yep. True. Yes.
And then we have the lovely Evils, who's been on my channel quite a few times now. But please tell us about who you are.
Hi, I'm Evils Presley. I am also on the Firekeepers team. I love to play Souls games. I just started gaming really like a couple of years ago and kind of immediately fell down the pipeline. Really love it. I haven't played very many lately just because my PlayStation and my capture card are not really working the way that they should, and all my games are on PlayStation. So we're kind of playing some fun indie games lately, but I've also dipped my toes in art lately, and kind of getting my Soulsborne fix that way. So yeah.
Yeah, and I have some of the Souls pieces that Evils has been doing on stream. They're behind her right now, but they're also next to me here scrolling through. So if you guys like them, go, ooh, ah, please and thank you. If you don't go, ooh and ah, I'm assuming you hate them. Thank you. Thank you.
Gorgeous, beautiful, stunning.
Thank you. The lovely Elle. Please tell us about you, or Ellie, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm Ellie. The first time I played Dark Souls, I hated it, and then I came back to it like 2 years later, and then I became obsessed. And I am the resident TTRPG nerd, and Soulslikes have defined my entire interest in TTRPGs.
Honestly, same.
Especially Bloodborne. Yeah.
That's so
thank
fair.
you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. And then our wonderful guest, we have Curly. Hello.
Hello. Hi guys, I'm Curly. I used to be a professional ballet dancer, and then a couple years ago, I decided, screw that. I'm just gonna rot my brain and play a bunch of video games online, which transitioned me into becoming a streamer. It's way more complicated than that, but that sounds always better. I also found out through streaming that I love cosplaying, especially for video games. And so one of my favorite when I was playing Elden Ring was actually
We're doing great. I'm glad you're here.
Cosplay as Ronnie.
Yes.
Even have a little Ronnie doll.
That's so cute.
That's so
Adorable.
Literally so cute.
Adorable.
It's amazing.
It's fun. It's fun. So yes. So yeah, I love doing that. Just for I love cosplaying for a lot of different games, and I think that Elden Ring has some of the coolest characters to cosplay as.
Yes.
Mhm.
So,
Facts.
Sarah, I'll ask the first question, and then you literally steal
Yeah.
it from me whenever you feel like it. Okay.
Got
We're gonna talk about art, inspiration around art, why you're doing what you're doing, and then also what it feels like to be a woman doing all of those things. And that's the panel. And let's start off with what got you into doing cosplay. It doesn't even have to be Souls. Cosplay, art, TTRPGs. What got you into those? But then, what specifically interests you about cosplaying or doing art or doing TTRPGs centered around Souls games? I'm gonna call. I see the faces. Here, Cherry introduced herself first, so it's only fair that I go
Okay.
left to right. Evils, please talk to us
No.
about your art.
No.
You said no, actually. I'm done.
Wait. Okay,
Wait,
wait.
I thought you were starting with me. My bad.
Okay, so I'm going first.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
We're all okay.
Going down.
I
Okay.
see. Yeah, so I started art painting specifically because I'm poor and I wanted a nice decor. I wanted to decorate my living room with something, and I couldn't buy art, so I made art looking like things that I like.
That's so real.
Love
Yeah.
that.
So
Mhm.
Yeah. And turns out, well, I'm an ADHDer and I have a gifted child complex. So whenever I'm not immediately good at something, I give up pretty fast.
Mhm.
But with art and souls, I have overcome that part of myself because I definitely wasn't very good at it at first. But specifically, going into Souls themed art, something that also really interests me in the games is the juxtaposition from the nature of how brutal the world is and how beautiful the world also is. I think that there's a lot of really, really pretty things that go unnoticed in the game, and weapons are especially one of those. So I have kind of amplified that juxtaposition by deciding to paint the weapons and then yassify them. Yassify, I mean we put glitter on it, gems on it. I'll show you this one. This is Reduvia. This is the prototype that kind of got me hooked on. Okay, I want to do a series on this. And this was just a couple of hours. I don't know, maybe 10 hours or something to get it done. But then this one was the one we did next, which took me an ungodly amount of time. And I mean 20 streams probably. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm just I'm really intrigued by putting a spotlight on that beauty, and it kind of goes back into being a femme person in gaming in general. I want to bring out the beautiful feminine parts of the game because they're there for a reason. So
That is
Totally agree.
literally
Beautiful.
why I call Bloodborne a game for girly pops.
it is
It's
though,
gorgeous.
by
It's
definition.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Beautiful
Yeah.
game.
I need to play it.
Same. Literally
I
same.
haven't played Bloodborne in years.
It's
I
so
need to get back
good,
into
though.
it.
It's so good.
It's my favorite game. It's so. I'm sorry.
Fashion souls for a reason. Fashion
Truth.
souls.
Curly, what got you into cosplay?
I think I did talk about this a little bit.
A little
when
bit, yeah,
when I
but-
introduced myself. Yeah. So, I honestly, the first cosplay I did was I started when I started streaming, which will be 3 years in May. I started off, and I just wanted to do something a little different. I was I was really loving playing a lot of Fallout, which Fallout 4 is a horror game. I'm going to die on that hill.
Fair enough.
But I really just wanted to do something and be more part of the story. So what better way to be part of the story than to also play as dress as one of the characters, because I've always been really into stories, and that's kind of what got me into games. So I feel like with cosplaying, you're actually able to not only just do the likeness of a character, but also you can have fun with being their different personality, taking on their voice, like having a little bit of a fun redeem with it. And then it's also really interesting because then you get to actually create something that's fun and creative, and like especially with cosplays that require you to do painting, it's like very artistic, and like you have to figure out how to like make it work on your skin, and it's like your skin is the canvas instead of Evils, where it's like
the canvas is the
actually,
canvas.
like,
Yeah.
So it's like it's really cool, and it's kind of fun to be able to do that stuff.
Absolutely. Cherry, do you have a different perspective or anything to share to dive off of that?
I mean, like, I started with the anime side of things when I started cosplay. I didn't start gaming until I was 23. So I was not allowed to really game or do anything of that. That's a little bit of my background. So when I started streaming was when I started gaming about 4 years ago. So, and, you know, watching the games that I played, you know, bringing characters to life and just wanting, like, feeling a connection to those characters. I think cosplaying is not only just like what Curly said, like, painting on your face and like showing art that way. It's like you connect with that character like on some way, shape, or form, and you get to like bring that character to life outside of the game. And I think it's beautiful. And I think like there's so many talented people out there, and it's like a learning skill. You learn makeup that way. You learn how to do makeup all across the board, and you still learn even if you've been doing it for like 10, 15 years plus, you are still learning. And it's just something like, because there's always going to be a new gaming character coming out. And I think Elden Ring, like, as my first Souls game, like, just so beautiful game, beautiful characters. There's just so much you can do in Elden Ring. The glams are great, and it's just so, it's beautiful, and you can see seeing the artwork come out of that in cosplay and seeing people recreate the armor and all of that stuff. It's just really great. I love it. I love it.
Totally agree.
Ellie, you come from a different perspective, sort of, with TTRPGs, but you and I can really sort of jump on this because it's TTRPGs really bring out a sort of art that is storytelling. And I want to hear your perspective about how Souls games and how you got into changing your storytelling through Souls games. You were saying, you know, since I've been playing Souls, I've changed the way that I do games. I want to hear about that.
I'll try not to take up all the panel time.
Okay, maybe like a minute.
Yeah, I like TTRPGs because it's collaborative storytelling. Like, it's everybody getting together to tell a story together, and I really like that. And I'm a really big fan of cosmic horror. And the way that like Souls games handle cosmic horror has really defined how I handle it, because I've always said that my niche, my favorite kind of cosmic horror is like, everything sucks, it's pointless, you're gonna fail anyways in the long run, but that doesn't mean you can't kick ass on the way there. So for me, like, the Souls games just really kind of embody that. Like, like Dark Souls 3 has so much despair. Like, you go through the world, like, it's dying worlds, like, consistently, but at the end of the day you still have hope. That's like, even when, like, realistically you shouldn't have hope because everything's like dying and like, or already dead.
Right.
But the characters still have hope, and that inspires them to like just go forward anyways and conquer against all odds. And for a lot of like the games that I like to write, I kind of like to embody that hopelessness with hope, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, despair, like the despair of the world, counteracted by the hope of the characters within it.
For sure.
I think that there is like I think there's a really big piece of beauty in there. Like Evils in your art, something that what you said made me think of is like, the games are so beautiful, and I think they're really good at capturing the beauty of entropy, of things decaying. I think Elden Ring is especially a good example of that, with like Scarlet Rot and how that like is showcased, especially in the DLC. So I think that there is just like the beauty in conquering despair like or fighting even when everything around you is telling you that you shouldn't fight. And I just like sort of making TTRPGs that embody that hope, where it's like, you know, everything is telling you to give up, but at the end of the day you still persist. And I just think that's, I don't know, I think that's really beautiful. Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think Miyazaki would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of you said the word beautiful and like commented on the way that the worlds are created. And I'm not making fun of you for saying that. I'm saying that that's a good thing, and it really like leads into a fantastic segue into talking about how women perceive Souls games as artists. And I love that so much. Because a lot of people in Souls are known to be strong critics, and this is my segues are so bad, all right. So you guys are talking about the beauty of the game. I'm talking about the beauty of all of your work. Have you ever received harsh critiques through your work? Well, like what's your experience been posting your art, posting your stories, posting your cosplays online, especially being content creators and women in this and femmes in the space?
I'm happy to start this one.
Please do it.
I got called a smurf for
Please.
10 minutes every single stream that I did this cosplay,
That's
to the point
so
where
terrible.
I literally broke down and I turned to my chat and I was like, y'all are sorry, can I curse?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
You
Let it
guys
out,
are
girl, let it
fucking
out.
assholes. Like,
Yeah.
I did all this work and you
Yeah.
guys sat here and you're making fun of my work.
Right.
And I literally just did not even respond to them for a good 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I said nothing. And everybody who's been in my chat knows I very rarely do I not say anything. In
Right.
streams.
Totally.
I'm pretty chatty. I was angry. I was so angry.
Do you think that
So, yeah.
do you think that you just a follow-up question, it's still same question for everybody, but just a follow-up question for you, like, do you think that wouldn't have happened should this have been a male counterpart? Do you think that they would have been more focused on something different?
As much as I want to say that would be true, I don't know if I can, because I think there is a I'll admit, like, majority of my audience is men. I saw like the stats that they have given us now.
They made me so sad.
From the partners. Really
For
sad.
myself.
Majority of my audience is men. And so I don't know if it would be better or worse.
Sure.
Coming from a man to man versus man to woman.
Yeah.
I almost feel like in some ways it would be worse, but then it would be taken more as a joke,
Sure.
even if it hurt their feelings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they would have to, and they couldn't actually express how they feel about it, because then they would be like, oh, you're just a wuss, you know?
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if it would have been better. I feel as though the feelings would probably still be the same regardless of gender, but the reaction and the subsequent reaction from chat might have been different and might have caused some differentiations. Like, my chat left me alone when I got mad at them, because it's very rare that I am angry.
Sure. Right.
And like that was definitely an instance. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Cherry, you also cosplay. I mean, you're saying yes, valid. Do you have any other vibes, any other feelings?
So it's like I have a different perspective, only because like I have not been cosplaying in the gaming world so very long.
Right.
I have the anime perspective and going to conventions and being like just a freelance cosplayer. There's definitely like I've gotten criticized for the characters I cosplay, and just because they just didn't like them. Like Sakura Haruno from Naruto.
Yep.
Like, she's like one of the most hated characters that like I've ever like had. And I get into like low key arguments, but like it's just like some people just really don't like a character, and I go for certain types of characters because of my face build.
Yeah.
So I definitely like have gotten that sort of criticism, or like I haven't gotten a lot of like recognition because it's a character that's not liked. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm my own person. I can do whatever I want. I can cosplay whoever I want. I'm sorry if you don't like it or don't like it. Like, you know, it's one of those things where I've had to like grow that thicker skin of like, I'm going to cosplay because this character makes me happy and I have a connection to this character and I'm going to do it whether you like it or not. And so yeah, that's kind of like where that goes. I got a little bit from like cosplaying Ashley from Resident Evil 4. Just people don't like her, you know, but you know, it is what it is. It's sadly, it is what it is. Everyone should be more, I feel, accepting to the creativity and accepting to like who people cosplay. Just like, obviously that character resonates with you for a reason, and you know, just be like respectful and kind. It takes $0 to be kind, so it's like, you know, that's pretty much.
That's definitely for sure. Evils, when you're painting, do you have similar experiences? Do you like, what is your experience in this?
You know, maybe it's just because I haven't like put my art out there or done it long enough, but thankfully I haven't really gotten any harsh criticism or anything like that. I have had like a backseat for something not Souls related. I have had somebody like backseating me. I've done a lot of my tattoos, and I had a sub goal to do a tattoo on stream, and I did everything right. He indicted me. But this guy came in and was like, "Oh my god, at least put a glove on." And I'm tattooing my hand, and my other hand has a glove on, and he's like, I don't know. He was just like backseating my tattooing, and it was so weird. And it was something that I don't know. There's a lot of great guys out there. Okay, listen, I know. Nobody has to be like not all men, but seriously, a woman would never come into my chat and say some shit like that. There's just no way. It's because like I'm a pretty girl, and I should not be handling tattoos and needles and stuff like that. Like that's like not right.
I feel like I would come in and be like, how do I book an appointment? Oh my God. Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, with the Souls art, I kind of do lean into that again, like with I put glitter and stuff all over it. So if they want to be weird about me, I don't know, picking and choosing how like feminine some parts of the game are, then I can be like, I'm literally putting glitter on it, motherfucker. Like,
no, truly.
Can't you see that's the point?
This is a bedazzle machine. I'm actively bedazzling this weapon.
So, I don't know. Maybe that'll change. Maybe people will be meaner to me.
You said...
Fingers crossed, because I have a lot of really bad insults on the way. Yeah. But, yeah, I've been lucky in that regard, I guess.
My favorite is whenever people insult my forehead, because it's quite large. I'm always like, at least it's bigger than your dick.
Got him!
There you go.
Yep, exactly.
There you go.
They said, you want me to whip it out? I said,
got him.
I feel that. Ellie, do you post your D&D stuff online? Do you stream online with D&D?
Not really.
Okay.
At least not yet. Thankfully, I've been kind of reclusive about my stuff. So I haven't faced too much judgment for it. Granted, I'm reclusive because I used to face judgment for it, but...
Sure, yeah. No, and that's an experience in itself. You're telling a story, you're creating art, and someone's like, actually get back in your box. It's like, hey, we all got little boxes here. That's pretty fucking mean.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Agreed.
Oh my gosh. I
Not
lost
a fan
all
favorite.
the questions, you guys. They're gone. Where did they go? I found them.
I have a good segue.
Please,
into,
segue.
Because I mean, you're all facing these types of criticisms. Like, how are you overcoming them? Because you're going to continue making this art. You're not sitting here and you're not letting these people be like stopping you from anything. So like, how do you tell yourself, fuck them, and how do you like continue going? Like, what do you wake up telling yourself every day?
How do you overcome criticism? Cherry, I think you were saying words.
I just I mean, again, as I said before, like it took me a lot of years because I cosplayed like when I was in high school. So it was kind of just like, it's been a couple years of learning the world, learning how people are, learning about yourself more so or less, and just kind of like how I deal with it is I have so many people in my corner. I have so many people that outweigh the bad at the end of the day, and I kind of focus on them in a sense. Like I focus on my friends, like focus on Jin when he's like, you're doing really well, like you know, you look great, or like, you know, and that helps me create more of a positive mindset for myself as I continue to do cosplay. I literally just came back from a hiatus of cosplaying because I didn't do it for a long time. And like I've just been getting a lot of positive feedback, and I think that's what it is uplifting each other as cosplayers, as artists. When you have people that are like genuine and, you know, love and support and just want to support people, you know, like I appreciate art so much. I may not know you, but like I love art. I can't personally do art. I can't draw for crap. Like my stick figures are like, you know, they're not existent. So it's like, usually when I see your work, I'm like, oh my God, beautiful, like stunning. And I love it. I love seeing what gaming has done in creating more art. But at the end of the day, I just tell myself, like, you know, I have people that love what I do, and I've learned to love myself and what I do. And I just want to make people happy, and, you know, do what you can.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Big same.
And you're inspiring like other people to have that same mentality, like on the way, you know, because you're being that in public in front of everybody. So it's really like a self-watering ecosystem. Like you just gotta, yeah.
That's why
It's
like
hard.
it's so important for like women to support each other and stuff like that, so we can break that cycle
Exactly.
that has happened where women will criticize each other. If we can support each other and lift each other up when we deal with these kind of things like Jen is doing right now, I think that is so impactful and so meaningful. So
I'm squishy, as Cherry says.
Squishy. No, agreed. I think like at the end of the day, it's like when we have just that genuine love and support, just as like creators alone, like there is beauty in that. There really is. And, you know.
Absolutely. Well, time to stop being happy and loving on each other, and time to start talking about competition in the space of art and
we froze.
Did I
be so mean that she didn't want
I said time to be mean.
We're silencing women? Oh my God. Easy.
Not the silencing women on the women's panel. Oh, cancel me. Okay, I'm so sorry everything froze. I was saying time to stop being nice to each other, and it's gonna freeze again, I know it. Time to start being not mean, but like talk about competition in the space, because not only is there competition between men and women and, you know, speed runners and challenge runners, but there's also competition in art, in cosplays in so many different ways, and in art in so many different ways, and storytelling. If you're not Brennan Lee Mulligan or Matthew Mercer, what are you even doing being a dungeon master? Like, it's just, there's so much that can be talked about. Like, how do we navigate and overcome criticism within groups of people that we share a space with that do the same things?
Change the narrative. You change the narrative.
We did that.
You turn it around and you don't look into it as a competition, and you say, what can I learn from this? And you grow from other people, and you grow from the skill of other people. I can't do storytelling like Ellie can, but I'm sure I can learn from them about all of their stuff. I can't do art at all. Like Cherry, I can draw maybe a stick figure. If anybody wants to hire me for some stick figure emotes,
it's gotta have all
they're
the
free
emotions.
$99.
A smiley
Free
face.
$99 is
emotions.
yes.
When we sit there and we change the narrative, that's how we succeed we don't look at other people as competition. We look at people as a learning opportunity to celebrate the successes of others.
That is exactly right. This wasn't a test, but A+.
Yeah.
That's literally the message I'm trying to get everyone to send.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Time to go. Curly said, I'm tired. Time to go. No, that's literally the message that I wanted.
It's my bedtime.
That's the message I wanted to be sent here, and I'm glad we just cut right to the chase.
Sorry.
We could talk. No, I love that. Like, we could talk all day about the times that someone was mean to us. But at the end of the day, it's about changing the way that we perceive things and being models in the space and being the people that say, it's not a competition. We're out here all creating in our own little spaces. And if we cross paths, I can recognize your skill and your creativity, and you can recognize mine or not. And that's okay. And showing people that we can react that way will ultimately just be a ripple in the water. And hopefully, over time, people recognize that being shitty is kind of shit. And we create clear, cute little waters of wonderful people who are nice to each other.
I just want to say one more thing. Sorry, I know.
Please,
I took
no,
over,
I
but,
need you to do more.
It's exhausting being jealous of people.
It is.
Like, it's really exhausting.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
like, save your energy because this world is insane and actually put it towards something positive, like celebrating success.
Absolutely.
And working on yourself or a skill, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and
I'm sorry, I cut
no,
off. I think
you're
cut
gonna
off
segue
Ellie.
me into not. I don't think this is a question,
Sorry.
but you're gonna segue me into making you
No.
guys brag about yourselves. I want to know, like, what are you the most proud of? Because I want to celebrate you. I brought you on here.
Ellie
so,
should go first
Yeah,
on
I
this
actually
one.
want to hear what's the most proud moment you have had in a storytelling capacity, in a DM. I want to know. Tell us the story. What happened?
Your best story.
Well, for me, it's always the moment when there's like some big twist, some big plot twist or something. Pretty much when everybody at the table just collectively cheers. There was one time I was playing a game with I was playtesting like the TTRPG that I've been writing with some of my friends, and my best friend was playing, and he had never played a TTRPG before. And I had constructed an entire scene just to make him feel special, where he wanted to play this hyper masculine, like warrior, honorable kind of fucking style character. And so I had him fighting like the leader of a group of bandits, basically. And the other players did things from the sidelines to help him, because it was a one-on-one fight. Like, one of them was a wizard who like cast like a spell like discreetly where that would weaken like the bandit leaders like armor or something like that. And then like towards the end of the scene, it culminated with him like attacking the dude, and he tried to block, and like the bandit leader's sword like exploded and his armor shattered immediately after, and he fell to the ground. And like my best friend was so happy, and he felt so powerful in that moment, and all attention was on him as he like was about like, as the bandit leader is like, okay, do it, kill me, and then he's like, nah. and he just like, it just like let him fully embody his character. But also like that's why I say it's important that's collaborative, is because everybody else at the table helps to create that moment for him. It wasn't just me, it was the other players like being creative to try to figure out ways to make it so that he could achieve this ending, the best ending. And that's just like kind of like the best moment every time, is like when somebody that's new to TTRPGs hits the part where you can tell in their eyes they just fell in love with TTRPGs and they don't want to stop playing. He was so scared. He could barely like speak up, like up until then. Like I had to like encourage him to like speak, and like the few little like mini games that we had like played before then. And from that point on, he just got way more into it. Like he just felt so like, I don't know. It's just empowering. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
You are so cool. That's really cool.
Thank you.
It's really
Yeah.
But you know what
Yeah.
that
That
means?
was really
That
cool.
means that the space that was created by you is so good. And that
Mhm.
is
I was about
awesome.
to say, you're an amazing DM.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are powerful, like literally powerful.
Also, because you could ruin everyone's lives if you wanted to in the game.
Also
for
that.
sure. Yeah.
But-
You're holding
Yeah,
it
and then
in your hand.
rocks fell on everyone and they all died.
Yes, 100%.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
I cannot believe it's already been. We started a little bit late, but it's already 11. That's crazy. Time flew.
Yeah.
Time did fly.
But I do want to continue to have
Let's
you
see.
guys brag about each other. I'm going to do a little shout out for Elodie. Thank you for being here. You're wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Cherry, what's
I feel
your...
like-
so sorry. So
Eagles,
sorry.
this is what we need to do. We just like don't thank anybody. We just be like, "You're welcome."
Yep. Break the cycle.
You're breaking the cycle. You're welcome.
Cherry, tell us about brag. What's your favorite thing that you've done in your space, in your creativity, in your art, in your cosplay? What's your favorite thing that you've ever done?
Oh man, there's been so many moments. I'm like so chaotic, obnoxious. So anything is like, anything goes. I think like for me being a newer gamer, I think every time I finish a story that I connect to a lot, like when I have like my finale games, like I just had my Tomb Raider finale a couple nights ago, and it was just like so emotional. And like, it was the same thing when I finished Elden Ring. It was like, oh my gosh, the accomplishments I did in that game as a first Souls game was incredible. Like I had never played a Souls game in my life, and I'm like beating these bosses. Like, it's just gaming has in general just expanded my view on a lot of things, and a lot of just on a lot of not only myself but how I relate to these games and these characters. And yeah, so I'm proud over all of what I've accomplished overall as of now. Just to have cultivated a community that is a welcoming space, and to have played so many different games and gone out of my view of just RPGs and going into Souls and trying something different and challenging myself. I think overall that has been an incredible experience for me. Yeah.
You're so cool.
No, you.
No, you.
And you. No, you.
Hey, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Please follow Cherry. I already gave her a shout out. Evil's brag, please. I need to know what's your favorite thing you've done. What do you feel? Yeah, everything, all of it.
Well, my first instinct, like, answer would be just streaming in general. I'm really proud of myself for like deciding to do that. I don't know what wild hair my like I don't know why I started doing it really, but I'm so glad that I stuck with it. Because I do have really bad imposter syndrome in every moment of my life, but for some reason I didn't let the imposter syndrome get to me during that, and I kept going and I kept streaming, and because I kept putting myself out there, like joining the Women's Guild, joining the Pride Guild, I got to meet really cool people like you guys, and it further inspiring me to keep going. So that in general is already a big W for me. But in terms of like Souls specifically, I don't know. With art, I'm really loving that I'm finding my creativity again because of these Souls pieces that I feel like I've had a big disconnect, but I'm getting that piece of me back. But getting into Souls games in the first place was a really like daunting thing to do. I've only been I haven't even been streaming for 2 years yet. So I still consider myself like a baby streamer and very much a baby gamer. I really only played Animal Crossing and Zelda before streaming. So hopping into Dark Souls 3 was a big one, and my pride would not let me fail because it was in front of a bunch of people. So I knew I would have to win. So I'm proud of myself for taking on that task, knowing that I would probably be so embarrassed if I didn't beat the game. But something else really awesome about the imposter syndrome, I'm kind of immune to it, is beating a Souls game. That's like tangible evidence that you're good enough at doing it. Like, you're good enough at playing this game because you beat it. Like, there's no arguing in your head about that. Some people like to have discourse like, oh, you use summons or something, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you beat the game as it's made, and that is a huge, like, thing to be proud of. I think it's really, really fun, and it opens up a lot of doors. Again, I got to meet really cool people. I got to tap into my creativity more. I got to really, for the first time, kind of see the potential in like storytelling within games. Like, gaming as media, or like almost literature, is so cool to me. It's like it's the only way I want to experience stories now. Like, it's so immersive, and yeah, I'm proud of myself for taking the first step and doing the damn thing.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
You're so cool.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Who are you?
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Curly, I don't think you win. I think we started with Ellie. What's your favorite thing that you've ever done in your space, in your cosplay, in your art, and everything? All the things. What's your favorite thing?
I think it boils down to two things, and I think both of them kind of like narrow into one thing. And I will say that streaming and cosplaying has really risen my confidence beyond measure. When I started, I definitely wouldn't stand up for myself if people called me a Smurf.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be okay with, not only cosplaying, but being okay with like not making sure that my cosplay was obscenely perfect every single time.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it takes work to do this kind of stuff.
It does.
But if I do something where it's not like 1-for-1 match based off of the character, I'm like, you know what? It's good enough. I worked hard on this. I was able to make this work. And I think that solace in being okay with not being perfect is something that I have learned from Souls games, from streaming, from gaming in general, and from being surrounded by the people who really care about me. And so, yeah, I will say like that's probably the biggest thing that has helped me with that I'm proud of, is the fact of like I have grown to be such a much more confident, self-assured person.
Big true. Same. Gosh, I love it here. Hey, thanks for being here. You're so cool.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
Yep.
I feel like my confidence
And let me know
just
when I'm
rose.
coming back. No.
As it should.
I feel like
Women
my
and
confidence just
femmes
rose.
uplifting
like,
each
30.
other should feel good.
Yes.
And I'm
Fact.
so honored to have you all in my life and in my space and in my circles, and I'm happy that we're all connected by the team, at least a little bit as well. So Sarah, do you have any final words?
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, right. We said
Real.
I was gonna say, I think my confidence rose, like my self-confidence, just from hearing y'all speak and like talking about your own self-confidence, like rose by like 100 points, 130 points, 200 points, like as we were sitting in this panel. So that's amazing. You guys are amazing. I feel like I have gained so much insight, eyeballs inside of my brain right now.
Beautiful.
I know.
This was
But
fun. I have
this was
80 pig
amazing.
eyes right now.
I know.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for being on this panel. I think it's so important that when we were talking about this panel, I really wanted to highlight the artists and the cosplayers, and because you guys, you tell such a unique story and see things in such a unique way and a unique perspective. And I I was like on board. I was like, artists. I want artists. I want to talk to artists. So
Hey, this is a good panel. Good
it
job,
was so
Sarah.
good.
Yes.
This is so good.
Yeah. No,
Yay,
Thank
Sarah.
you so much for having us.
Great idea.
Thank
Yay,
you.
Great
ideas.
idea. Yes.
All right, everyone. Say goodnight, Curly.
Good night, Curly.